Teams of the Indian Army and the National Disaster Response Team and the ITBP are working round the clock here at the Tapovan tunnel. Even as we speak, at 10 o'clock at night, there are earth movers that are going inside this tunnel to bring out the debris. The mandatory 24-hour golden period is over. That's the time which is said that if people are rescued, it's easier. Beyond that, it becomes difficult. Right now, we are told that they still have about 50 to 80 meters to go before they reach the bend. So there is still debris in 50 to 80 meters inside this tunnel, which makes the task of rescue operations all the more difficult. We bring you our top story.
Nature's fury at its worst. A day later, over 200 are still missing. Trapped under the debris, awaiting help. Every single minute is precious in this race against time. It's all hands on the deck in Chamoli. A mammoth rescue operation by the NDRF, SDRF, Army and the ITBP personnel is underway to save as many lives as possible. The rescue operation that continued through the night gathered further momentum on Monday morning. After 12 workers were rescued from Tunnel 1 on Sunday, rescue teams are trying to track several others trapped in the second tunnel.
Senior officers of the Indian Army are personally on ground monitoring the situation. As you come here, let me quickly show you this area. This is the mouth of the tunnel. India Today is the only channel that is getting you up close to this area. We will try and show you this area as efforts are being made.
Army engineers and Garhwal scouts have been on the spot since morning, trying to remove the slush and push deeper into the tunnel.
My boys, they were able to go 100 meters inside, but thereafter it was all covered with slush. So we thought first we'll use the mechanical. All these, you see the dozers are working. We want these dozers to clear that tunnel.
About the numbers, I have been told that out of 2025 have reported back. So maybe the total number might reduce down to 197.
By evening, much of the slush was cleared using heavy machinery. The rescue teams entered the tunnel along with dog squad and oxygen cylinders.
This operation is currently being undertaken. This is the Recce party that has so far gone in. This is the Recce party. They'll carry out a reconnaissance mission, see what needs to be done, then come back, and then another party will be sent in once contact is made.
Those who were rescued on Sunday are undergoing treatment at the ITBP hospital in Joshimath. They recount the horror unleashed by the glacier burst that triggered flash floods.
7 घंटे अंदर रहने तक हमें बाद में ITBP जोशीमठ टीम ने रेस्क्यू किया और अपने हॉस्पिटल में लाके यहाँ पे इलाज कर रहा है और हमारी अच्छी देखभाल कर रहे हैं।
तो ईश्वर की कृपा से हमारी ITBP की बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देते हैं, जिन्होंने हमको अपनी जान पे खेल के और हम लोगों को सभी को दोबारा पुनर्जीवन दिया है। बहुत बहुत थैंक यू और धन्यवाद देते हैं।
Every passing minute, the odds are getting tougher. But the rescue teams on the ground are determined. No stone will be left unturned to save each and every life possible. With Gaurav Sawant in Chamoli, Bureau Report, India Today.
So the army is hopeful they should be able to reach this 80 to 100 meter gap overnight. If they work overnight, they should be able to crack this, reach the bend. If they're able to rescue people, then there's a emergency hospital or an MI room that's been set up just at this location. It has 6 beds. There are doctors on standby to immediately ensure that those who've been rescued their condition is improved before they are then taken to a bigger hospital at Joshimath. I spoke to doctors at this makeshift hospital here. Let's listen in. Barely 20 meters from the tunnel, the army has established an emergency military hospital, or so to say an emergency center in tents here in Tapovan. With me is Major Igjot Singh. Major Igjot Singh, how many beds in this facility, in this tent, and what all can you cater for?
We have initially established 6 beds, extendable to 15 at a time. And here we have got all resuscitative equipment, all the emergency equipment. So any casualty which we receive from the tunnel can be resuscitated and revived here itself.
Okay. Now, when we talk about the facilities that you've set up here, we notice that there is emergency oxygen, also bandages and fractures to cater to all of that. What all can happen here before they're dispatched to a bigger hospital?
Our 2 major concerns are hypothermia, which is loss of internal body temperature, and hypoxia, which is lack of oxygen inside the tunnel. And of course, certain minor injuries, fractures, and that is anticipated with the casualties. So we have catered for to cater all of them and treat all of them right here.
And your entire team is capable of looking after those people. And how quickly, sir, can you send people to the bigger military hospital here? कितनी देर में आप भेज देंगे सर?
वही 1 घंटे में सब.
1 घंटे में
15-16 किलोमीटर डिस्टेंस है.
हाँ.
और 1 घंटे में उसको स्टेबल करके 1 घंटे में उसको हॉस्पिटल में पहुंचा देंगे.
So you stabilize them here and then immediately launch them to a bigger hospital. But you know, the hospital or the facility here is ready. Army doctors also right at the mouth of the tunnel. In fact, 2 young doctors willing to go inside and help rescue. Should the people be able to remove all the slush from inside? But that is a task that is still underway. With cameraman Kripal Singh at Tapovan, Uttarakhand, Gaurav Sawant for India Today. Joining me on India First is Colonel Pradeep Behra, the Deputy Commander of the Joshimath Brigade, who is supervising these operations late into the night. Colonel Behra, what's your task at this point of time? How come all of you, you, the commander, the commanding officer of an infantry battalion here, all of you are here at night?
Yes, this is a disaster in which we have to win against the fury of nature. The major aim as of now is to retrieve some lives inside, which we believe, and in Indian Army we strongly believe that we will be able to achieve the aim. Presently we are working on a tunnel which is approximately 200 meters long, and we have been able to go approximately 70 to 80 meters as of now, and so that by tomorrow morning this work continues. It started yesterday evening about 6 o'clock, and it is continuing throughout non-stop. And the major challenge we are facing are the slush which is there, which is coming back to us,
okay,
because of the descent there. So it is the major challenge to clean up all the slush first and then make an airway to the individuals trapped inside.
So if you are able to make an airway, all the efforts that you've made so far, is there any evidence of life inside? I believe there's a big truck or a big vehicle that may have acted as some kind of a pressure to counter the pressure of the slush.
Yes, certainly. There are 2 vehicles inside, along with approximately 35 to 40 people trapped inside. 35 to 40 people? Yes, they are. We are suspecting 35 to 40. They are working inside. We're working on that side. So probably the nature of the tunnel is such that there's a U-turn and it's coming back. So there is a possibility that these individuals who are there might have survived as of now.
Okay. Colonel Hemant Kumar, your infantry battalion troops have also been deployed here. What has your tasking been, and will you be working again through the night and tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll be working throughout the night. Tasking, what sir has said, it is very clear. Tasking is to save life at any cost. And that is what we're doing here. And we plan to do it overnight till such time we reach the headway. And that's what we are here for.
So, are you working in teams, that one team goes in, the other rests, and the moment it's done, it's rest and recuperation, the main team takes over again?
Yeah, that's what we are doing. We are maintaining a continuous cycle. There are people who are working here for a shift now, then we'll give them a rest. But the effort here will continue throughout the night, and that's what we are aiming.
Okay. You've also got a hospital here that's been set up. once people have been rescued and restored, are any of the relatives coming? Is there any information, any mobile, anything that you've got to know that can give you any hope that there are people inside and alive?
As of now, no, because of the kind of the tunnel which is there, it is entirely, completely, it's closed from all sides. So we are not getting any signals out there. But the distance is also quite a large to cover. As far as the hospital is concerned, it has got two aims. Firstly, it facilitates us to work inside. It has got oxygen cylinders so that when the individuals move inside, they carry oxygen cylinders inside. Secondly, immediately anybody being evacuated inside, the first aid is given here. We have got specialists here deployed. We have already established a medical aid post which actually can save life immediately on arrival. Then we have also placed our ambulances here, rapid ambulances. They can take it to the Arfield Hospital at Joshimath.
Okay. For the moment, Colonel Behra and Colonel Hemant Kumar, many thanks for joining me here on India Today. Continue with your good work, and I sincerely hope that you are successful here.
Thank you. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind, sir. So the army team remains deployed through the night. The army medical team also remains deployed here through the night, and at least they are extremely hopeful that some people will be rescued in the next 24 hours at least. A number of relatives also very keen. They've been asking the Uttarakhand administration questions. A short while back we spoke to Trivendra Singh Rawat, the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand. He too was hopeful of some headway in the next 12 to 16 hours. Let's listen in.
देखिए NDRF, आर्मी और SDRF तीनों का संयुक्त प्रयास चल रहा है. 130 मीटर पर पहुंच गए हैं और 50 मीटर अभी टी पॉइंट तक पहुंचने में ये अनुमान लगाया जा रहा है कि 2.5-3 घंटे लग सकते हैं. जो हमारे जवान हैं वो काम कर रहे हैं. बहुत जोखिम भरा काम है, लेकिन वो पूरी साहस के साथ कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि जो अंदर जो लोग हैं उनको सुरक्षित बाहर निकाला जाए.
Both the Indian Air Force and the Uttarakhand government helicopters are continuously flying aviation sorties for two things. One, they want to see if there is any breach anywhere along the course of the river, and two, locate either injured or the mortal remains of those who are missing. And according to the Uttarakhand administration, as of now, between 195 to 205 people are still reported missing. While some may have trickled in, they are still cross-checking before issuing an official number. India Today's Manjeet Singh Negi was on one such aviation sortie. He sent us this report.
तपोवन में राहत और बचाव का काम पूरे जोर शोर पर है. हमने यहाँ
The government has learned important lessons after this incident. Union Minister for Power R.K. Singh visited Ground Zero in an exclusive conversation with India Today. He said that avalanche early warning saved many lives, and now not just in this area but across the region, avalanche early warning systems will be put in place. That will not only help give an early warning but also help understand and analyze how this situation should be dealt with. Help of the Defence Research and Development Organization and SASE are being taken in this connection. You just reviewed the situation inside. What can you tell us, sir?
The work is huge. We've covered about 70 meters inside the tunnel. We have further 180 meters to go before we hit the bend. After the bend, our assessment is that the Malwa would not have entered, so the people are beyond the bend. But once we reach the bend, then I think we are home. We'll be in a position to extricate these people. Now the estimate is that by late tonight, we'll work throughout the night, or maybe tomorrow morning we'll have reached the bend. That is the estimate.
So it will take us till nightfall to get to the bend. Is there any way, in your appreciation, can this work be speeded up? Is there anything else that is required?
We discussed that.
Only one machine can work at a time. No chance.
No. We discussed that. Okay. Look, another method which we discussed was that it's already, the mud is quite slushy. Now if you add more water to it and you can suck it out, sucking it out will be much faster than bringing it out on truckloads. So that is something which we have asked them to arrange. More pumps from BHEL, from SJVN, etc. They'll mobilize pumps, and if you liquefy it, then you can suck it out. That will be much faster.
So there's one team of the Indian Army, there's one team of the ITBP, there's also a team of the Uttarakhand Police that's deployed here through the night. And a short while back, I spoke to Dr. Manjunath, who is the Superintendent of Police of the State Disaster Response Force. He gave us details about their role tonight and in the days ahead. Let's listen in. Rescue operations are expected to continue through the night, and with me is Dr. Manjunath, the Superintendent of Police of the Uttarakhand Police. He's also the Commandant of the India Reserve Battalion here. Sir, the SDRF team, what's your task laid out for the next couple of hours?
SDRF team will also be supervising and monitoring and taking part in the excavation process, which is mainly machine driven because the slush is too much. So machine driven excavation is going on to clear off the tunnels.
And this will happen through the night?
Throughout the night. And we will all be there. As you can see, there are teams of Army, ITBP, and NDRF, SDRF, and even the state police. From the state police side, I'll be coordinating all these exercises, and SDRF will be the nodal to coordinate with various agencies.
So how much area have you been able to cover, and through the night how much area do you intend to cover?
Our intention is to reach the earliest as possible at 180 meters, where the tunnel takes a bend, where we are very much intending to reach so that we can look out for survivors. So the moment it is reached, we will start our rescue operations, the future operations, where we will send our personnel by foot and all other equipments, so that
a short while back when people went on foot, and these were men of the Garhwal Rifles, of the ITBP, of the NDRF, they went some distance and they came back. What happened?
Yes. That was a joint exercise which we planned. Our state police, SDRF, NDRF, ITBP and Army. So we all sent 5-man teams, 5 members from each organization to go ahead. But the slosh was way too much, and our men couldn't go push ahead very much, and so much of slosh was there. So we are hopeful that slosh should be cleared early, so that we can again mount a expedition where we can go and search again. So that is our intention.
And you're hopeful that we will find survivors?
We are very much hopeful, and we all are working, all the various organizations, with tremendous teamwork and coordination and cooperation. We are all working all towards that goal, so that we have to find the survivors. That is
the aim, is to find survivors. It's a race against time. Some of these team members have actually been working without food because their aim is, as many teams can go in, rescue people and come out. Let's be ready for that. That's the task ahead, hoping against hope that they're able to remove all the debris quickly and rescue people as quickly as possible. With cameraman Kripal Singh at Tapovan in Uttarakhand, Gaurav Sawant for India Today. So what exactly happened on Sunday morning? There are eyewitnesses who say water just suddenly came gushing down and took powerful bridges with it. Such was the force with which the water came. India Today's team of reporters on Ground Zero spoke to some of the eyewitnesses who had captured some images on their mobile phone cameras. Ashutosh Mishra brings us this report.
On Sunday morning, a portion of the Nanda Devi Glacier in Raini area in Chamoli district of Uttarakhand broke off, triggering a disastrous chain of events. The flash floods resulted in massive devastation in Raini village.
Raini village, which was the epicenter of this entire flashpoint where this avalanche triggered the massive flash flood. That's the strategic highway of Niti, which connects Chamoli entire district, has been washed away.
Residents of the village were jolted by the sound of huge torrents of water and slush in the Rishi Ganga river.
खाली ऐसे पत्थर आए मेरे ऊपर से, पर मैं खाली जबरदस्त भाग के यहाँ तक आए।
और आपकी जो सास थी वो
सास वहाँ दब गई, मेरे सामने ही दब गई।
वहाँ पे 2 घोड़े, 4 घोड़े, 1 घोड़े चराने वाला और 3 लंगर वाले जो खाना बनाते थे कंपनी में, मैस वाले, वो भी थे वहाँ पे।
Many others who witnessed the fury recount the horror.
आवाज आया सर, जैसे ब्लास्टिंग होता सर, उछल ये मतलब पूरा उछल गए सर, बिल्डिंग कंपनी का। अच्छा। जो कंपनी था यहाँ पर। तो मैंने वहाँ से आवाज मारा ऊपर गांव से। जब मैंने आवाज मारा तो कुछ लोग ने तो बिल्डिंग से उछाल मार दिया।
27 जुलाई को कितने को आया था?
27 जुलाई 1971।
तो बहुत बड़ा आया था यहाँ। तो जो
तब यहाँ कोई परियोजना नहीं थी?
तब यहाँ कोई परियोजना नहीं थी। आपने देखा कि कल यहाँ पर कट जाता तो पूरा गांव नीचे आ जाता, क्योंकि इसी पर टिका हुआ है गांव। और इस आधार पर अगर ये कट जाएगा तो इसलिए हमारी अब सबसे अच्छी पहली मांग रहेगी कि आप हमको गांव के लिए विस्तार की व्यवस्था करें।
Reni village suffered the most, bringing back horrifying memories of the 2013 deluge. On Sunday, when the news of the disaster broke, many villagers ran for their lives.
जब तक यहाँ उसने तक वही रहता है।
डर लगा?
हाँ, डर लगा। ये छोटा बच्चा हम जंगल में गया।
सारे बच्चों और बूढ़ों ने खाना नहीं खाया और सोने के लिए हम कितने दूर जंगलों में भागते हुए चले गए।
After the havoc in Reni village, many villagers are now forced to escape. The women have packed their bags and now taking their elders and the children in the house safer places in Joshimath, as they still fear there could be further trouble and they don't want to risk their lives.
12 people who were rescued from Tapovan tunnel by ITBP Jawans are being treated at ITBP hospital in Joshimath.
फेस पे क्राउन लगा रहे थे सर, क्राउन लगाते एक खाली आवाज आई कि बाहर निकलो निकलो निकलो। हमने सोचा पता नहीं क्या हो गया। जैसे हम बाहर दौड़ने लगे तो वैसे पानी का बहाव इतना ज्यादा था कि सीधा फोर्स सीधा टनल के मतलब मुंह पे घुस गया। तो हम लोग तो इधर टनल में काम करने के टाइम में पानी आ गया, अब टनल में फंस गया। इसी के टाइम में ITBP रेस्क्यू टीम आके हमारे को बचा दिया, हॉस्पिटल ले लेके गए। हमारे को इधर सुविधा है।
While the rescue work is on in full swing, hopes of more survivors are fading. With Ashutosh Mishra, Bureau Report, India Today.
The death toll in this avalanche and flash floods has risen to 24. Several bodies were located downstream today. Efforts are on to locate more such people who are missing. We are told the official number of people missing as of now is 197. 5 of them from the same village and some from the same family. We bring you this report.
Nature's fury sweeps through the Himalayas in Uttarakhand and leaves a trail of tragedy and destruction. A day after the glacier burst in the Himalayas in Chamoli district, more than 200 people remain untraced. Rescue efforts are on in full gear, but with each hour, the chances of survival are fading. Miles away from Chamoli in Raniapur village of Uttar Pradesh's Shravasti district, a pall of gloom has descended. Families are in shock as they wait for news of their loved ones. 5 young men from this village, Ajay Kumar, Prabhunath, Ved Prakash, Harilal and Chote Lal, who are working at the hydroelectric power project in Chamoli, are missing.
सुबह हमारे पति 6 बजे फोन किए थे, ये हमें चला 12 बजे पता किए, ये आस्था हो गया है।
कब गए थे वो यहाँ से?
8 तारीख को निकले थे, आज 3 महीना पूरा हो गए हमारे पति का।
काम करने गया था। अच्छा, मेहनत मजदूरी ज्यादा दिन से था? हाँ, 2-3 महीना हो गया।
The families are hoping for the best. They have reason to. 3 other men from the village were rescued safely.
यहाँ पे दलदला या कुछ गिर गया पहाड़ से और सब बह गए इधर।
कितने लोग इस गांव के?
हमारे गांव के 5 लोग, 3 लोग, 8 लोग थे पूरा, 3 लोग बचे हुए अभी, उन्हीं लोगों ने फोन किया।
Local authorities have swung into action, trying to reach out to their counterparts in Uttarakhand to know about the whereabouts of the missing men.
लोगों को ये पता करना होगा कि वो लोग ठीक हैं, सुरक्षित हैं कि नहीं हैं, और जो सरकारी मदद होगी हर संभव मदद किया जाएगा।
While the rescuers in Uttarakhand continue to search through the debris, the families in Raniapur are praying and waiting to hear the voices of their loved ones.
There is no doubt the nation needs development, but can that development take place at the cost of ecology and the environment? That debate has reignited. First, after the 2003 tragedy at the Kedarnath shrine, and now after this flash flood. Several people in the Reddy village, that is the worst affected village after the avalanche and the flash floods, they say they had red flagged this hydroelectric power plant. They didn't want this. They'd even approached courts. They're now asking, will the government finally wake up and draw that fine balance between development and ecology?
It's yet to be ascertained what caused the glacier burst that triggered flash floods in Uttarakhand's Chamoli district on Sunday. While scientists are studying what might be the possible causes, many environmental activists and local residents blame hydel projects in the region.
Witnessing such a massive disaster, this Raini village has its own glorious history of saving Paryavaran. Chipko movement that was started from this village in Uttarakhand, in the remote part of in the upper edges of Uttarakhand, and in that decade this was a massive movement to save ecological system, save environment. And look at the irony, now after the decades, such massive disaster, and that was triggered by such development projects here, which was also opposed by the locals.
जब 2006 में ऋषि गंगा हाइड्रो प्रोजेक्ट आया तो हम लोग कई बार शासन प्रशासन को ज्ञापन दिया, यहाँ पे धरने पे बैठे, लेकिन हम लोग का आज तक कहीं सुनवाई नहीं हुआ। यहाँ तक ऐसा हम लोग हाई कोर्ट में भी पिटीशन डाल रखा है, आज तक भी हम लोग का कोई सुनवाई नहीं हुआ। आज आप देख रहे हैं इतना बड़ा आपदा आ गया, हम लोग का अभी तक भी शासन ने ये नहीं बोला कि आप कहाँ पे सुरक्षित हैं या नहीं, हम लोग जंगलों में छुपे हुए थे।
Residents of Raini, the worst hit village, are shaken and demand they be shifted to a safe location.
हमने तो पहले भी सरकार से गुहार लगाई थी कि हमें विस्थापन दिया जाए, कि अंदर ऐसा ना हो कि लेकिन हमारी कोई सुनवाई नहीं हुई। यहाँ पे
को गांव के लिए विस्थापन की व्यवस्था करें। और कभी भी अगर यहाँ पर जो है 7.12 का अगर भूकंप आया तो ये सामने आप पहाड़ देखिए, इनकी कितनी लाइफ है वो तो आप लोग जिन लोगों ने उसको पढ़ा होगा कितनी कम है।
A resident of the village had filed a petition in the Uttarakhand High Court nearly 2 years ago against the construction of the Rishi Ganga hydel project.
उच्च न्यायालय नैनीताल में गए, लेकिन वहाँ पे जो है कि इन्होंने वहाँ पे भी उन्होंने हमको भी कोई अच्छा वो नहीं दिया, उन्होंने सलेक्शन कोई अच्छा सलेक्शन नहीं दिया, जिस कारण की जो ये हादसा हुआ है आज इस नंदा देवी नेशनल पार्क क्षेत्र के अंतर्गत इस ये ऋषि गंगा प्रोजेक्ट की वजह से ही जो है हम लोगों की ये खामियों को भुगतना पड़ रहा है।
Many activists and politicians have raised alarm over development projects in the ecologically sensitive Himalayan region. Former Water Affairs Minister and senior BJP leader Uma Bharti, in a series of tweets, said that the glacier burst is nature's warning.
From top with climate crisis, with the kind of human activity or say government activity or so-called developmental projects that we are actually doing, it's actually making the entire ecologically sensitive zone really a deathbed.
Concerns have been raised by green experts over increased human intervention in the Himalayan region. But it remains to be seen if the glacier burst tragedy will act as a wake-up call. With Ashutosh Mishra in Chamoli, Bureau Report, India Today.
That race against time to rescue people trapped inside continues. We will be reporting from Ground Zero, but that is all I have time for on this special broadcast of India First from Tapovan in the Chamoli district of Uttarakhand. Many thanks for watching. News and updates continue on India Today. Stay with us.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.